Hey, welcome to the AI Strategy Lab, and I'm Jimmy. If you're looking to scale your business quickly using AI, check out how I use Claude and ChatGPT as my business's brain. I shared this system with a group of entrepreneurs from my church recently, and their minds were blown. They had no idea that AI could remember everything about their business and actually use it to scale and save a ton of time. So today I'm going to show you how to set this system up. So first off, every single time you open ChatGPT or Claude, you're basically starting from scratch. You have to explain your business again, your brand voice, your target audience, your color scheme, whatever. But do you remember that movie Groundhog Day? It's kind of like that. You're copying and pasting the same context over and over. You're getting generic outputs that don't match your brand, and you're wasting time re-explaining everything. So let's discuss a better way. You can create an AI assistant that already knows your brand voice, your color scheme, your ideal customer, and your entire business strategy. That's exactly what Claude Projects and ChatGPT Projects can be used for. So I think of this as uploading your business brain once and then using it forever to kind of brainstorm. I'm going to show you now how to set this up. So first off, I created this fictitious organization called EcoNest Organizing, and I used the Claude Projects function here. You can do this in ChatGPT as well, but we're going to use Claude in this case. And basically, the first step here is just to give it some instructions. So in the instructions, I say, you are helping me brainstorm my business. Reference the project files to know more about my business and help me brainstorm things. So something simple like that. This is just a place where I can brainstorm my business. So as it relates to the rest of these files here, how did these get here and what did we create here? So basically I have 5 different files that I recommend you start with. You can start with whatever you want, but these 5 files are the ones that I think work the best for my business and what I'm doing. So the first thing is a brand voice document. So how do you create one of these? So first off, if you don't have one of these, you can create it. You can actually just create it using one of these tools, Claude or ChatGPT, and just kind of let it know, hey, I want to determine what my brand voice is. You can ask it, ask me 10, 15 questions about, how we could determine what my brand voice is. And you can also upload, a whole bunch of documents to Claude or ChatGPT of different posts that you've done, things like that. And it will help you determine what your brand voice is. So in this case, you can create this using one of those platforms. And then, it has things in here like what's my tone, here's some excerpts from blog posts. Again, this is a fictitious example, but this kind of is just a document that now anytime I am chatting with this and I need some information to be created, whether that's like, brainstorming or anything like that, it knows my brand voice and how I prefer to speak. The second document is what I call a brand positioning document, or your ICP. So on the brand positioning document, or ICP, which stands for Ideal Customer Profile, you can create one of these. And again, you can do the same process. You can sort of chat with these things and figure out, what questions you need to ask. But in this case, it comes up with some demographics here: age 32 to 45, location, suburban, income, so on and so forth. So, and psychographics and goals and all these other things. So that way, whenever I am thinking about creating any kind of content or anything like that, this system will keep my ideal customer profile in mind. So that's the document number 2. The number 3 one is a brand visual guide. So a lot of times I forget my color hex codes and my font names and things like that. When you're creating materials for your brand, you want to make sure you have consistency, and this can help you do that. And so you can come here and say, hey, remind me what my brand colors are, or what are my fonts, or things like that, or create a design guide for an agency that I'm about to send this information over, so they create my content in the way that I want it to be created. So the 4th document it could be your products and services, right? So what are you selling? What products and services do you have? How much are they? What are, so that's feasible for somebody who might have like a small amount of things. Probably not as feasible for somebody who has like thousands or, hundreds of thousands of products or something like that. But generally you can have some kind of like, what do I sell? What's my value proposition? Things like that. Here's some frequently asked questions. Here's our promise, so any type of your core values, things like that. You can put all of that into a document like this, and then you can, ensure that as you're brainstorming things, it is keeping that in mind. Last thing is like a content strategy. So this is one that I have for myself, and this, is like, what is my content strategy? What are my platforms that I care about? And how do I want to show up in social media? Different things like that. What calls to action do I like? What kind of words do I not like in my content? All those types of things. You can create a document like this. So as you can see, it's endless. Like you can create as much as you want, whatever you're doing, whether you're like a recruiter and you have a certain way that you want to speak with your clients and or candidates, you can have something like that. Or maybe you're running a service business like EcoNest organizing here, whatever. Just keep the concept here of you can load in files here that then you can chat against. And one example I'll show you here is those exact questions. I did an example before the video was created here. I said, hey, remind me what my fonts are supposed to be. And you can see it just grabbed the exact fonts. It probably gave me a little more than I needed here, but it's saying, hey, regular 400, 500, semi-bold, and bold are my weights that I prefer. The primary font is called Outfit. The secondary font is called Enter. Accent font is called Crimson Pro. So that's exact information. It's in the document. Then you can see here, what are my design guide hex colors? So here it pulls out the color schemes and everything. And again, you can use this to create, any kind of materials you want to create, things like that. So then moving on, we're going to actually do some real examples here in this video here. So I'm going to grab a couple things here that I prepared, and we are going to test this out. All right, so the first test that we will do is we will say create 2 Instagram post ideas for this month about spring cleaning, including the copy and what each slide should say. We'll put that in there real quick and let this generate. And as you can see here, it generated the post idea. Here you can see it's going through and looking at the brand voice guide. It says this needs to be warm, encouraging, and practical. It looked at the Instagram strategy from the content strategy doc, and it's saying that it's doing carousel posts that are good for educational content, so on and so forth. And it came up with the idea. So you can see that it used that context to create this whole thing. I mean, that's a lot of brainstorming here. That's still going. Wow. So we'll move on and we'll do one more example here. So let's do brainstorm 10 lead magnets that would appeal to our ideal customer fit in our brand. All right, here you can see it created the 10 lead magnet ideas, and let's open this up. You can see that, let's see, lead magnet ideas, let me reference the project files to understand. So you see it's designed to reference the project files. So it used the brand positioning document. It found that, Sarah, and then the ages over here. So perfect. And then it's going to speak in a tone that you want to speak in, as well as using the ideal customer profile in mind. You can imagine you don't have to explain, hey, my ideal customer profile is this. Now create some content or brainstorm with me. It's already sort of done that for you. All right, so here's a couple advanced tips. So as you are creating things using Claude and ChatGPT and creating these kind of different artifacts and documents, make sure you save the best ones to your project. So if you create an amazing brand voice guide or anything else that you're creating, make sure you save it back. Your project will just get smarter over time. And then I also do this with things like frameworks I develop and different templates. I have a LinkedIn template that I like to have. And so anything, I want the AI to remember next time I save it. Also, update your documents regularly. Keep them fresh. Review them, add new stuff. Your business is always evolving, as you know, so it's important to keep it fresh as you evolve. And also the third tip I have here is share it with your team. Give your team access to a project like this. If you have a team plan or something like that, you can now have everyone create on-brand content. You can have them all speak in the way that you want your business to speak, so on and so forth. So look, this is what strategic AI implementation actually looks like, in my opinion. You're not jumping between tools or chasing different features or anything like that. You're building a system that knows your business. So start with just one document today. Start with maybe the brand voice or something like that. Upload a few examples of your favorite content and then start brainstorming stuff and see what happens. And if you like this, hit subscribe for more strategic AI content. Check out my next video on the 10 things I wish I knew before I started vibe coding. Thanks for watching.